at you. We were missing some of our platforms. Can't have it. A motto on SandCity Sports: we leave no platform behind. Yes, indeed. So we're coming back. Going through. Okay, IG is good. Let's get it right back on Facebook. We're looking to play the hits. Okay? That's what Big Ben told me. That's what I got to do. We're going to play the hits. So the Seahawks and the Niners are going on right now. We're going to be locked into that as it takes place. Have to discuss the overtime thriller that took place in the Rocky Mountains. Quite a ball game. One team had to lose. We're looking forward tomorrow. Huge matchup here in the Commonwealth. Patriots and Texans. Nico Collins going to be missed in that one. All right. And we will take a look at the Rams in their bid to move on to the NFC Championship game. All right, so let me just hold on. Okay. Let's get Twitch, right? We don't leave any platforms behind. No siree. Good across the board. Twitch, and I'm confident that Twitch is good. YouTube is good. All righty. And we're good now. How's everybody out there doing? Happy Saturday from me to you, SandCity Sports. Your boy, Cape Cod Kid, in the building. Doing what I do. My passion project. All day, every day. So, hey, it's a beautiful thing. We're going to get right into it. You know what I mean? We SandCity right now. Let me just, make sure I got, shout out to Plenty Sneaks, providing the logo. Shout out to the flag man. Okay. Extra comfortable. Get my seating in order. So, about to lock in for a good episode. Getting through Seahawks, Niners, jump right on them, and moving across the board in the world of sports. Let's get it going. You know how. Let's get our intro ready to go. No. Drum roll, please. No, it's not what I'm looking for. You know what it is. And we're not ready. We're not ready just yet. Come on now. Gotta make sure our levels are right. Okay? What is Samuel saying? Jackie Brown, don't touch my volume. I got my levels set just how I like them. Don't touch my volume. Them levels is set just how I like them. Hey! To the business! What it says in sports, I'm your host, the Cape Cod Kid. Hey! Come on down and rock with you. Share community. Hey. SandCity. Go. stars everywhere, and they looking to be on the move. So we will discuss. And hey, has it been a whole long week? It's been 7 days since your boy was able to get on the ones and the twos here in SandCity Sports. Nonetheless, we will go through because we know that every day has meaning. Every day has value. Now, obviously that is the case. But what do I mean specifically? We know that on SandCity Sports, every day of the week, right, has a particular theme. Again, wasn't able to get into you to speak on it, but we got You Can't Hurt Me Mondays. Shout out to David Goggins. You Can't Hurt Me Mondays. We got Tyler Durden Tuesdays. Shout out to Fight Club. We got Herbie Derby Wednesdays. My grandfather, yes, Herbert Collier. Herbie Derby Wednesdays. We have to lift him up, lift family up. We have Goodwill Hunting Thursdays, right? Manny D, Ben Affleck, the classic, Robin Williams, Minnie Driver. We got Goodwill Hunting Thursdays. We got Forget About It Fridays. And it's Saturday. I haven't gotten something for Saturday. How is it? I have something for every other day because Saturday is going to lead into Sanctified Sundays. Okay, leaning into what I have to be grateful for, my faith, lots to be thankful for. We got Sanctified Sundays. Saturday is the only day that does not have a moniker presently. It will have a moniker very soon. But just because I'm not able to get to you as much as I would like to, which is on a day-to-day basis, doesn't mean we're not going to go over and highlight all of those, right? You Can't Hurt Me Mondays, Tyler Durden Tuesdays, Herbie Derby Wednesdays. Shout out to my grandfather. Okay, Greatest Generation. Goodwill Hunting Thursdays. Hunt for Goodwill, right? We cannot allow the whatever it is, the day-to-day grind, or just sometimes familiarity breeds contempt, right? And we lose track of what we're doing, what we're in a struggle for in the first place. Okay, and you can just, right, you lose sight, you lose track. So we got to get that Goodwill Hunting. Very important. Get back to, right, connecting with why we do what we do, right? The good that we want to see in others, in the world, and most importantly, in ourselves. Goodwill Hunting Thursdays. Forget about it, huh? Huh? What? He's saying it's Fugazi. You don't think I know what a Fugazi is? I forget about it. Okay? Much love for the Italian-American tradition in American life, not just in cinema, across the board. Again, I'm born in the great state of New Jersey, so let's, take it easy. You know what I mean? Great state of New Jersey. Was deep into the Sopranos the other night, actually. I Sopranos and The Wire are my main go-tos. So Forget About It Fridays. We take something from just the history, the culture, the tradition. Not that I'm not an anthropologist. I'm not going back to ancient Rome, but I do have heroes. I do have people I look up to immensely. David Chase created Sopranos, is one of those. In terms of what he did with that piece of art. David Simon, creator of The Wire, is another one of my heroes. Bob Carroll, who wrote The Power Broker, if we're talking heroes. I got a number of them. And so we dive into that. Saturday, don't have, and I'm receptive, folks. If you got a name in terms of what we do on Saturdays, let me know. Because Saturdays is not, and then we got Sanctified Sundays. We got Sanctified Sundays indeed. So just like that, this second half is on and popping. And we are going to keep up with that. Yes, we're going to, what did Big Ben say? Big Ben said you got to play the hits. Speaking of which, talk about dereliction of duty. I haven't checked in with Big Ben. Woo! And you know something? Tomorrow I'm checking in with Big Ben. All right. I'm checking in with the Maryland Militia. No two ways about it. Partly because it's a holiday, right? So have that, I work in education proudly, thankfully. So a lot of it's just schedule related. And those vacations. Ooh, I can't wait to get back on my Maryland Militia grind when we have. Now again, I have a get-to job, not a got-to job. Love my job. Teaching and refereeing. Get a chance to be a part of so many great things. Nonetheless, the early mornings and You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Still no excuse not to be locked in with my programs and my people. Top of the list being the Maller Militia. Top of the list being the Maller Militia, no doubt. Okay, so let's take a look at this game. Niners, okay, and Seahawks. Let's get our art right. You understand? Let's go ahead and dive into this writ large. Yes, sir. I have my art. You know, we're talking about a subject. We want to make sure that we have the art to go along with it. Make sure that is available. You know what it is. That black and yellow. Oh, goodness gracious. Speaking of the black and the yellow. We have some major moves going on in the world of coaching, in the land of leadership. So we're going to get on that. Yes, indeed. Yes, sir. But to begin with, we're going to play these hits. We're going to play these hits. All right, folks, because Mr. Darnold is over there. What are talking about? The most slighted, taken for granted, unheralded, unappreciated. Some would say a lot of fans ungrateful, particularly in the frozen north, right? Folks in Minnesota. Pressure on him coming into this game. Hey, what are we at? 24-6, long way to go, right? Remember what happened last weekend in the city, the Windy City. I was going to say the city, brother love, in the Windy City, right? So we're not going to get ahead of ourselves in any way, shape, or form. But the first half for the Seattle Seahawks, team that some of us are still getting used to being back in the mix, right? I'm looking for the Legion of Boom. I'm looking for Pete Carroll. I'm looking for Marshawn Lynch. What is going on? Who allowed and right? The Seahawks, they're contenders in 2025, 2026. Did I miss a Madden ranking? What's going on here? Yes. All right. Shout out to organizational strength and leadership. I had the Seahawks as a distant outpost, backwater, March for Arch team. Didn't expect much from them at all. You know, Niners, Shanahan, McCaffrey, star-studded roster. Like, hey, okay, 49ers, they're in the Super Bowl conversation. The Seahawks, what? And you know that. So the turnaround for me, and then this game where people are saying, well, you know, Darnold and Minnesota last year had it going, had a bad game. We can't trust this guy. Pressure's too. He kept all them receipts. Right? Well done is better than well said. Don't hear much from Sam Darnold. He's not a part of the Twitter, X, Instagram. He's not a part of the social media wars. Not that I know of. He's on that well done is better than well said. He's like, okay, yeah. All right, let me just go ahead and handle business. Conversation over. Right? So, right? Now, over to the Niners. And Mr. Shanahan, who went in there and stole one from my Eagles last week. Can't be too mad. It wasn't flowing. It wasn't flowing for the Eagles, for the city of brotherly love. The Eagles took something from the Sixers that they didn't need to take. Dysfunction. Okay, 49ers swoop in, take advantage, get the dub, respect. Okay. They look like a battle-tested, weary, leery team thus far. We got a lot of football to go. All right, but doggone it, where my man Iron Mike at? You gonna first play of the game, they gonna take it to the house on you, and you on the road, and they going bananas in the Pacific Northwest. Okay? Cheering so loud they're about to shake the Space Needle. I wonder. Okay? No excuses there, right? You sometimes it's benefits a team when they don't have to take that week off and they're in, take the momentum from one place to the next to divisional games. So you cross the country to come back over to the left coast, and right, you're staying on the left coast. So not like you have to cross the country to come back and then cross country again. Forget about the laundry. Forget about the team that has arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, amongst its alumni. Some of the greatest players. Quarterback, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Steve Young, on and on and on. Right? And that tradition is being upheld. 49ers are perennial contenders. Even though Kyle Shanahan's not won the big game, I mean, he seems to be always in the mix. We're looking at here still 24-6. Seattle with the ball, time to ground and pound. Plenty of time. This is a moment where if I'm Seattle and I'd like to see, okay, we're giving Donald the ball and we're continuing, right? Driving in the red zone. Don't want to take your foot off the gas. Right? Keep playing your brain. Because isn't that the critique we're hearing about Matt LaFleur, whose contract was extended? Took his foot off the gas, got conservative, allowed Chicago to come back, get hot, and so Seattle over here looking like they're trying to put that 40 piece on them, which I love to see with the special sauce. Okay, the finger licking good 40 piece. We trying to blow the doors off this thing. We're trying to make a statement. And they on the goal line right now. So yeah, we looking to put it on you. We ain't looking to get no. We're gonna. And they got the best defense in the league, so already up 18. Let's make it 25, and let that defense go out there and hunt. Let them go get it now. Again, it's still right. You're watching. I'm watching. We got a goal line. So we got to not forget that we got a red zone situation, not a goal line situation, a red line situation. All right. Pivotal possession. Okay, 25-point lead. Obviously, we don't know teams, right? Thought the Bears looked like they were on, and they, okay. So you're watching it. I'm watching it. We shall see. Nonetheless, looking at these two teams, feeling like it's a tale of two cities. And this year, tip of the hat, respect on the name. Seattle said, we're sick of being a redheaded stepchild. Sick of being an afterthought in this division. We coming to take the whole thing. Niners bring the house. Okay, looking like they're gonna. Let's see what we have here. Looking over. Second and 18. All right. So hey, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a possession that's going to swing the game one way or the other. Can the Niners stay in striking distance, or Seattle? Okay. So we will conclude this series, and then we'll keep it moving and grooving to the next conversation. Right, we're not looking ahead in any way, shape, or form. I'm saying to myself, doggone it. That man right there, that Shanahan, right? Does Kyle Shanahan belong in the same conversation as the Mike Tomlins, as the John Harbaughs, as the capable and successful coaches that have moved on to another phase of the journey, shall we say? Kyle Shanahan in that boat. Okay, or does he belong in the right? We can't put him in the Andy Reid conversation because Andy Reid's not taken off, and Andy Reid's moved up to being the Bill Walsh, Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, right? Okay, 20, right? So down 21. Okay, we okay, Mr. Shanahan, you're down 21. Plenty of time. Third and fourth quarter. I mean, 21 is 21, but there's plenty of ball game left. This is not garbage time in the fourth quarter. This is midway through the third quarter, and we shall see. But the question now we have to dive into is, with this coaching carousel, seems to miss Kyle Shanahan. He's never brought up, and so we got to take a look at this. Because I'm flabbergasted at the coaches, the longstanding coaches that are in new places. So we got to take a look here. Let's get our art in order. It's bothersome when I have to. Let me see. I got one. Once I got, but see, this is the thing. I gotta say to myself. Let me see if I can try one more to get the in, because I don't want to go with. There we go. All right, so I got lucky. In terms of my art, let's get the next topic going on right now. Then I got to go around and see how we're doing on our socials, see how everybody is doing, okay, on our socials. But we're talking the hits. You're watching, I'm watching. SandCity right now, live in the building. Fortunate, okay. Seahawks, Niners. Trying to decide who's going to the Final Four. We're in the Elite Eight right now. Who's going to the Final Four? Let me just go across the board and see how we're doing on our socials. Hold on. Okay, where was that? Okay, Riverside, we good. IG is good. It's a beautiful thing. Facebook is good. Beautiful thing. We on the the Twitter X machine. Appreciate those that's rocking with us. It's a beautiful thing. YouTube and Twitch, so we rocking and rolling. Is Kyle Shanahan allowed to be on a hot seat? Can he, or does he, he's a good coach. The Niners are consistently in the mix. He's innovative. This man is making lemonade out of whatever lemons you put in front of him. Who the heck is Brock Purdy? Mr. Irrelevant. Right? He making that lemonade taste sweet, give it a little kick, right? You drink the lemonade, it got a little kick to it. Like, right? You drink good lemonade, it gets you, you know what I mean? It puts your taste buds, give them a little shock when you have that good lemonade. Right? That good spring and summer lemonade that we think about right now as it's brick cold out here in the Commonwealth, and we're supposed to get snow tomorrow. All right, but we think about that good lemonade right now. That good spring on the porch out, the sun is shining. Them good Sandlot days that we're looking to get back to. All right, Kyle over here, he can, whether you get the fresh lemons or the week old lemons, I'm gonna put my touch on it. It's gonna taste good. Gonna have some kick to it. The man can coach. To me, I go back to, okay, Purdy and they locking him down. Is that an interception? Hold up. Oh, that is an interception. Hey, Niners fans, whoa. I'm trying to, I'm you know what I mean? I was expecting a drive. I would, come on now. So we're talking Shanahan now, but we gotta, this is about to get where it has to get to. Okay, Seattle ain't playing no games, and 49ers are playing plenty of games. So already down 21. Don't even get into your groove. Throwing in an interception. Seattle gonna grind you down, get at least 3 more. So back to Kyle. Yeah, I mean, you. This is steep. This is like that. Know what they call it? 90-degree angle, where you just looking straight up. This is like when the astronauts go into space. You just start looking straight up. No speed up for takeoff. No. You're looking straight up. Okay. So we're going to need a Nassau level blast off in order for the 49ers to come back in this game. Which brings us back to the point, right? Kyle Shanahan, obviously, he had his best opportunity as a coordinator to get the Super Bowl. 27-3. Right? Had the Patriots all but out. That was Kyle Shanahan's first Super Bowl. Just like Bill Belichick's first Super Bowl was as a defensive coordinator with the Giants teams in 86 and then again in 90. 86 as coming up through the ranks, 90, then he blasted off, went to the Browns, then came back to help Big Bill get to the Super Bowl with the Patriots, then bounced around here and there, and then into back in the Patriots, and rest is history. But so Kyle, 0 Super Bowls. Coordinator, coach, 0. Zilch. All right, the man's talented though. But my thing that we have to understand it, why is it, I don't understand why Mike Tomlin doesn't have a job. Now, Steelers fans, you could say we're comparing apples and oranges. Steelers, 1 game over 500 since time immemorial, and not really going anywhere super fast, right? Had the chance, the division handed to him on a platter, and instead it comes down to some missed field goals. Duly noted. Respect Mike Tomlin. The standard is the standard. Gonna miss Mike Tomlin. Will admit, frankly, fully, and without reservation, that Mike Tomlin has not had the Steelers in the same position that Kyle Shanahan has had the 49ers in the last 5 or 10 years. It's two different stories. Okay, 49ers have been on the doorstep knocking, right? Knocking, right? They've been knocking for a minute. Okay, having entered into the champions quarters, the exclusive champions quarters. But they've been knocking nonetheless. All right. Last year, huge step back. This year, right back in the mix. Okay, but we have to, and he's a young man. He's a young man. Only 46. He could coach for another 40 years. Didn't realize he was a Duke grad. Respect. Okay. He's 82-67. As a coach. He's 9-4 in the playoffs. It's a pretty good record. 2 Super Bowls. Appearances. The last one in 23. The Lions had a bit to do with that. Should Kyle Shanahan experience a little bit more heat in terms of, being a head coach? Let's take a look. 12-5 this year. Huge bounce back from 6-11 last year. 12-5 the year before, 13-4 the year before. Okay, 12-5, that's the Super Bowl year where Detroit has them and they wiggle out of it. But 13-4 the year before that, 10-7 the year before that, right? So for me, I'm not trying to make 2 wrongs a right. Okay, I'm not looking to have any sort of restitution vis-a-vis the 49ers because other teams make ridiculous decisions and have made ridiculous decisions in years past. If an organization wants to be dysfunctional, they have the right to be crooked and sideways. It just intrigues me that amongst all the turmoil that has reached places like Baltimore, who began the season as Super Bowl favorites, okay, that said tomfoolery never reaches the San Francisco 49ers. And that might have a lot to do with John Lynch as well. Okay, we're going to talk about Mike Tomlin in a second because we got to dive deep into that. But, I'm seeing a lot of thinking about it. When you have strong upper management leadership, then you just don't get caught up in the nonsense and the foolishness and the coaching carousels. That is a big part of it. Okay, but to Shanahan's credit, as he's building, he starts off 6-10, next year 4-12, and then 13-3. All right, and they break through and they make it to the Super Bowl in 2019. They fall back to 6-10 the next year, middling 10-7 the year after that. And then now you get into the second run, 13-4, 12-5, go to the Super Bowl. And then last year they just took a huge, Super Bowl slump. And then 12-5 is a really, in the toughest division in the league. This even though Now we're talking 34-6, right? Talking 34-6 right now. Okay, so this is receipts being cashed. When I'm all for it. This is the younger brother having his comeuppance. Right? Just check and see what's going on here. So let's, for the sake of argument, because you don't want to assume you make an ass out of you and me. Let's say, for the sake of argument, 49ers is going to lose this game. All right? Kyle Shanahan, again, a good season, divisional round. Right? You win a playoff game, I know it's not a bad season. But are the 49ers any closer? For me, I was like, man, they got Chris McCaffrey. They got the, it's like the 49ers, they're going to be in the hunt. They're going to be in conversation. But there's a difference between being in the conversation and being a king of the conversation. Okay. 49ers are, right. Are the Lions in the conversation anymore? We don't know. Kyle Shanahan's reminding me of a Jim Harbaugh. I get the Harbaughs confused. Of a Jim Harbaugh, just minus the Super Bowl. Right? He's good. He's solid. He's consistent. He's gonna. But he's not a Super Bowl winning coach. It may be that, look, his journey is similar to his father's journey. Right? Mike didn't get his Super Bowl, so he was ready to walk out the door. Ready to go in Denver. Right? John was ready to go. That's when they won Super Bowls in the twilight years. So it might be like father, like son with Kyle, because I'm he is able to take punches, meaning have these bad seasons and then come back the next season and be right. So you're not seeing just consistent mediocrity and disappointment. Okay. You're also not seeing championship grade football. But he's been to 2 and he's been close, He reminds me of Marv leaving. We don't talk a lot about Marv leaving. We should talk more. All right, but that's who I have to compare Kyle Shanahan. But he's not. And again, when Marv Levy was taking the Bills, and I just got a flashback of how obnoxious at times I was as a youth. We talk about like ADHD with the young people, which I certainly, kids have been kids since the dawn of time, and now we put acronyms to kind of just describe youth, which is always, human condition is what it is. So your youth is going to be a challenge, just like your life on this planet is going to be a challenge in different ways, peaks and valleys. But we have these type ADHD, it's like, okay, to describe an inherent component, an inherent part of the human experience, ADHD. I get it, but what I'm saying is that, and what the heck is the connection to Kyle Shanahan? Because where's this guy going? I'll tell you where I'm going. Used to have Super Bowl parties when I was a kid in grammar school. Go over to my cousin's house, they come over, and that was like a big deal. I actually refereed a youth game tonight. I got called in the referee. It's like, it's going to be a day. It's a holiday and it's a busy time of year. It's like, got called into a youth game. Ended up working out splendidly. Got down there and ran around for a bit, so it was good. But what was really awesome is just connecting, being around the kids, in like early grammar school, fourth, fifth, sixth grade. That I remember when I was, at that age, and you lose the game and you cry. It's like the end of the world. You just can't. You lose one game, and it's just like this is the foundations of civilization are crumbling. You just can't think you don't think you're ever gonna get another chance to play another game and win, even though you got a game the next day. It's like, oh, you lose a game. It's like, the pain, the anguish. But that's how I was. And seeing them out there kind of reminded me of that, which was good. But yeah, that I was a little bit of a punk. And I look back, I just could, it's like I had to. You just get so worked up, and which gives me some insight into the students now that I teach. And it's like I just don't like school. Which I'm looking at. It's funny when you listen to kids say they don't like school, and you know what the difference is between being in school and being in the workforce. And so to hear them say that, it's you get a kick out of it as you get older. Even though the balancing part of it is that the kids, what they really don't like is they don't have independence. Right? They are dependent, which, again, look, you get older, you said, when you're a kid, you just want independence and you want to have like money. I just want to be able to do what I want when I want, and to have all the money to be able to do it. You get older and, you have the independence part of it, a certain amount of independence, meaning, right, you can go out and, get Chipotle when you want to, put gas in your car when you need to, watch whatever, you want to watch a program on HBO Max, you purchase HBO Max and you watch. So you have a certain amount of independence. Now, a lot of this, is day to day and paycheck to paycheck. And I get all that, but you can do certain, you can live your life on your own, ask people to get a ride here and there. You can do that stuff. So that's the really great part about being an adult, right? On the other side, you have to work. You got to work, man. Yeah, it ain't paying for it. So, so this little bit, and obviously everybody wants to try to do better. And if you have a family, provide for the next generation to do better. So you're always working. But you do have autonomy, independence. Whereas kids, I think, right, they want to be the boss while still having the structure, the supports, the comforts of being, in this school system and being a student. So that was me, right? Wanted to be the boss, have the independence while still being pampered and supported, so on and forth. But the point of this, I remember having a Super Bowl party. And I just was, my parents like disciplined me, and I just would not, I just caught an attitude, and I got angry because I wanted to do things my way. And I look back now, and I can really see, I was just a poor sport at times, and I didn't see the big picture. I just wanted what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, and I wasn't. You're not, or I was not sensitive to just how much work it was from my parents and my, the support system that I had to create the fortunate life that I had. I just was like, I can't have cake right now, or I can't go do what I want to do right now. And this is just criminal. It's I should be able to. So the connection back to the Bills is that took place when the Bills were getting the brakes beat off of them by the Dallas Cowboys. I think that was the second Bills-Cowboys shellacking where I got in trouble for throwing a tantrum. And the connection back to Kyle Shanahan is he's the new look Marv Levy. You can put this same thing on Sean McDermott with the Bills, who played a heck of a game in Denver. That was awesome. We shall discuss. Tough pass interference calls. You don't want to see a game decided like that. Reminds me of when the Eagles were penalized and the Chiefs were gifted a Super Bowl because of a bogus pass interference. So So we will discuss that. But in looking, I mean, the second one, maybe I'll pass on because that was a crazy. You could have given the Bills a catch. We got to go back, man. There's some wild calls in that game. There's some wild calls. That by rule was a catch by the Bills. How can you take the ball from somebody if that somebody doesn't have control of the ball? So that's crazy that they didn't let the Bills punt, even though that was essentially a punt. So we got to dive into that. And then the 2 PIs. It's just you don't want to call as an official. That's two momentous penalties in one drive is a little bit too much. I might have passed on that second PI, even though when you look at he did tackle him before but it was so close, and you already got a PI that put them in field goal range. I don't know if I would have called the second PI. Because they're PI. You can call the second one. I didn't like. Now, of course, the dude slammed his helmet after getting the PI. You didn't do yourself any favors, buddy. Does Kyle Shanahan belong on the hot seat? At the end of the day, for me, it's a no. Just because people are messed up over here and getting rid of capable coaches and people are messed up, that doesn't mean that you have to be a part of this just because there's this dysfunction going on around you does not necessitate that you become a part of a dysfunctional situation. It can be a plain dysfunction, so again, there are 2 wrongs, or 3 wrongs, or 4. It's not making it right here. Dysfunction is dysfunction. All right. It's just the point of fact is Kyle Shanahan seems to have avoided and been sheltered from the dysfunction in the NFL that has taken down capable and deserving coaches. All right. I'm not mad at Kyle, but he's in a good situation. And he should keep it going. Reminds me of Kelvin Sampson, who I was pulling for last year with Houston. I'd like to see him get over the top and get a championship. But hey, Iron Throne ain't for everybody. So you get it, NFL is okay. It's a monster. So, and man, Kyle, hey. So let's see here. As we're going through the coaching carousel, we're going to continue to play the hits. We are going to continue to play the hits. Talking about leadership. We learned from Remember the Titans that attitude reflects leadership. Captain. Attitude reflects that leadership. You understand? Goodness. Oh, wait, so I got to... Get our imagery, get our art. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got the imagery that we needed. Let's move on. SandCity in the building. We talking coaching carousel. NFL, Saturday night. Big games on deck. Let's get it. All right. Okay. Seahawks is serving notice. You're watching. You understand? So we're not assuming anything, but we are assuming. Okay, we're assuming that the championship is going through Seattle next week. Bears, Rams, whoever, but you're going to Seattle. So that's what we are saying, assuming no two ways about that. Now, we're talking about leadership. We're talking about the coaching carousel. Matt LaFleur extension with the Packers. Let's go ahead and pull those numbers up. Let's get our numbers up. Okay. Boom. Right, multi-year extension. What's the numbers? Had a year left on his contract. All right. So the man got him a bag, and he got years. Seattle, I'm liking this, man. I'm liking this. Okay, just keep it on him. Keep that foot on that gas. Go get it. Now, okay. You know, my argument relative to LaFleur is consistent with what I said about Kyle Shanahan, meaning, you know, if I don't need to reinvent the wheel if what I have is working, but the rejoiner is working for who and how. Like, yeah, it's good that Matt LaFleur is consistent. You know, he's got a job, and you know, but are the Packers any closer? You know, is the grass any greener? Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, younger guys, 46. All right. Got your dream job, and you're good at your dream job. So let's put those two things together. It's not just that you have your dream. It's not just that you have a dream job, that you're good at a dream job. And so let's take a look here. He's 76 and 40. So the man is 36 games over 500. He is 36 games over 500 in his 7-year career. Won 13 games each of his first 3 seasons. Last, 22 and 23, again, minus Aaron Rodgers. 8 and 9, 9 and 8. Last year, 11 wins. This year, 9 wins and a playoff berth. Only 3 and 6 in the playoffs, though. Three and 6 in the playoffs. Okay, so 3 and 6. A lot of folks go back to the battle against the Buccaneers in Green Bay, and Rodgers not running for the touchdown, LaFleur kicking a field goal instead of, trying to tie the game. So that's the inflection point with Matt LaFleur. It's not his regular season and the consistency there and the fast start that he got off to when he had, a Hall of Fame quarterback. When he had the Green Bay Packers right there. It's the fact that, this man is playing checkers when other folks are playing chess in the playoffs. That's the situation with LaFleur. And can he lock horns with, right, the cream of the crop, these other elite, or because if everyone's elite, nobody's elite. So did this, again, we have a Marv Levy situation. And I'm not disrespecting Marv Levy by saying this and it is disrespectful because these guys aren't making Super Bowls. right? Kyle Shanahan, yes, that's more of a, because he's been to 2 Super Bowls, 0 for 2, but he's been there. But everybody hasn't. So with Marv Lee, we need more respect on Marv's name from me. Because he's not in the Marv Levy conversation. He's in the Andy Reid Philadelphia Eagles conversation. That's where Matt LaFleur is, without having broken through to that one Super Bowl, which Andy Reid did, where they, Terrell Owens was injured. I get that. And that was the Patriots' high point. All those things established. Nonetheless, right? Andy Reid with the Eagles, he was there, and just could not get to that greener grass. You on, whatever you on there. But we good, folks. We are good. Again. And we don't have, the Green Bay, they're eating the crackers and cheese or the grilled cheese with the tomato soup. It's working. I'm seeing like this is a franchise. Jordan Love, you got Micah Parsons. They're going to go for it. This team is built to go for it. Then you lose Micah Parsons, so you can't help that. But then next year you bring everybody back now with a little bit more experience being together, and now we start talking about getting it done. Another thing you have to credit LaFleur for is that division is a monster. A little bit less of a monster because Detroit fell off the pace, and then Detroit fell back and Chicago stepped up with former Detroit personnel. And the Vikings decided to be emotional, and they got rid of the quarterback, who right now is leading the Seahawks to a dominant division round victory. The Minnesota wanted no parts of that. They ain't want no parts whatsoever. Okay, and where are they at? Right, so Matt LaFleur, he's in that B tier. NFL stands for not for long. There's no two ways about it, right? He is 36 games over 500. That's in his first 7 years. Let me double check that, make sure because I'm a history person. Yeah, he got 76 dub and 40 on the L. All right, 76 dubs and 40 on them L's. So he said he well over regular season. Okay, but he's well under at 3-6, 500 when it comes to the playoffs, when it comes to money time. All right, so next year, come on now, let's go, Matt. At least a championship game, at least an NFC championship game. And that's what we need. You brought in Micah to get you there. That's what we need. Okay. And it's easy for me to say that when, that means you're going to have to go through the Rams. That means you're going to have to go through the Seahawks. That means you're going to have to go through the Bears. Okay. That means who the heck knows what's going on in New York now that they have some real leadership. Who the heck knows what's going on in Washington when they get back healthy? All right, Eagles still the Eagles. But come on, Matt. We got to at least get into the Final Four. But I'm putting respect on the Packers name. I like this. I like, we got people. We got good people. We're going to stick with these people. All right. I like that way of getting down. I do. Okay. So best of luck to the Packers. Get all of the The energy, enthusiasm, doggone it. I just get cold right now thinking about some of their night games that take place during the regular season. And these polar bear people that are out there wearing t-shirts and no shirts when it's brick cold. I mean, however much good TV it is, when you go, oh my goodness. And again, that reminds me of my dear friend, my good buddy Endicott, who was a fisherman on the high seas for many years. Goodness out there, the Packers, that's brick cold. That's brick cold right there. But go get them, and meaning or else, go get them or else. Shout out to those polar bears out there that can take it, that can take the very cold environs. I'm telling you, man. Seeing those Packer games, I had a dear friend. We'll get my. I have a dear friend. I didn't have it. I have present tense, a dear friend who's it's one of my good buddies, and talk all the time and can really get perspective. When I, you know what I mean, he's just a good dude, and I want to get. We're going to discuss this because it relates. It relates to the subject matter. It relates to the subject matter very well, just in terms of these folks. Yes, sir. This is my good buddy Endicott. Endicott, for many years, was a fisherman on the high seas in Maine. As you know, the closest I get to fishing is looking at the local ponds that we have here on the Cape, which are wonderful, and that's as close as I looking at those ponds. That's my fishing experience as somebody who has been talking to you for an hour and is going to continue to be talking to you for some time tonight on SandCity Sports, and love to write, love to read, and I not I can do certain things. I'm not completely incapable when it comes to vocational skills, but certainly not my strong suit. Fixing this, moving that, going here and there. My point with this is my good buddy Endicott, my homeboy, many years, fisherman, Maine. So right now, right, what do they say? A calm sea never made for a skilled sailor. Right now you're seeing, it's calm, it's clear, and got the crates, lobstermen out there, getting ready to put them out there, and so everything is good. But doggone it, fishing, Maine, middle of winter, waves crashing down. Are you kidding me? Some world's deadliest catch stuff. Okay, your boy wants no parts of it. None whatsoever. Okay, and we're discussing this relative to the Packers because, kidding me, when you watch them night games and the Packers, no shirt, freaking pouring water all over themselves. Are you kidding me? Catch a freaking cold, about to get pneumonia just watching it on the screen. But yes, I gotta put respect. I gotta put respect on their name. A lot of respect, my buddy Endicott. Right? Shout out to the working class heroes out there. What did John Lennon say? All right, the Beatles. Working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. My good buddy Endicott, many moons, many years. That working class hero out there getting it. And I'm also fortunate. The district that I work in New Bedford. New Bedford, the Whalers. The Whalers, New Bedford. This is great. Also, Nantucket here on the Cape are the Whalers as well. So those out there, I don't know how they do it, but somehow they do it, and we're better off for it as a society. Respect. All right, folks. And I'm not having any any Sam Darnold slander because the man is 12 for 17 one time. Oh, well, he did what he needed to do. He ain't need to be, 25 for 38 and no, he did what he needed to do. Okay, in terms of this butt kicking that's going on. So he didn't have he did what he needed to do. What did Detective Alonzo Harris tell Detective Hoyt in Training Day? You did what you needed to do when he was getting his butt kicked saving that girl. Okay, he did what he needed to do. Detective Harris sat back there and watched him. But he handled business. One of them had to get lights out. The other one, you know what I mean? He took a beating. Sam Darnold did what he needed to do tonight. Respect. Okay. All right. See how we're gonna stay on the coaching carousel for the rest of this game. What do we got? 41-6. Okay. Maybe people, tune in with what the heck is going on here. Heck is going on here. Give me my. Where my live at? Where my live at? Okay. We good on the Facebook. We good on the Twitter. YouTubians. But doggone it, what's going on with my... Okay, we good. We back. All right, good. It was hiding out on me. My IG was hiding on me for a second. Okay, we still okay, good. We in the building right now. We in the building. Okay, yes, sir. Some positive things going on. I like to see the positive things in the community. Our local teams are playing well, handling their business. All right. Okay, just checking up on everything. But we live, so we got to get back into this. So let's we're going to talk about the coaches in the AFC North. We're going to talk about the coaches. Talk coaches in the AFC North. New faces in new places. Yes, sir. All right, we good. IG is good. All right, we good on platforms. Just had to double check. Let me just come on back up. Let's find our level. Excellent. And let's stay on this coaching carousel, getting the job done how we need to get it done. All right. Listen, I'm happy for Harbaugh, but let's right? This is a situation where sometimes everybody needs something, a change of scenery. Everybody needs a change of scenery. Okay. I'm one for, why are we making these changes? Do we need to make changes at all? That's my thing. Right? I kind of get set in my ways. At the same time, life is change. That's and sometimes things get to a certain point, and even though on the outside you see continuity and stability, but on the inside there is dissension and possibly confusion, mistrust, and so a change is in order. Here's my issue, right? Because I think for Harbaugh, he's in B-more, establishing B-more. He's just going to go a couple hours up 95 North. And now you in the Big Apple. Okay, all right. And bigger stage. No two ways about that. But they're looking for leadership. That's your MO. And so geographically, it's conducive. Culturally, it's conducive. They want you to come in and be Harbaugh and get the ship right. Similar to how the Chargers want your brother to do same thing. Right? So there's upside, momentum, positivity. Okay? Will this be a Rick Carlisle from the Mavericks to the Pacers? Right? It's a little bit different. Let's just put that out there. Not that it can't be as successful. It's different. It can still be as successful because, look, here's the successful point. Now, I'm not, so the Giants are going to end up in the finals. That's what you're saying. They could. Harbaugh knows his business. He knows his business. The difference with Rick Carlisle to the Pacers situation is that Rick Carlisle himself facilitated that. He went to Mark Cuban and said, Luka needs another voice. And you know something? Right man for the job is Jason Kidd. And you know something else? This is a win-win because I need another challenge. So I'm returning to the motherland. Boyhood, Indiana, Hoosier. Okay? To do that rebuild. Speaking of rebuilds in Indiana, we know another one. That man, Signetti. Right? So Rick Carlisle had his new beginning and challenge, which he hit out of the ballpark. Never mind the fact that they are in the hunt for the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft in a very talented draft class. Okay? After getting rid of Miles Turner for no good reason. But anyway. And then Jason Kidd, before ownership decided to destroy NBA Finals team, right? Jason Kidd was the man for the job. Somebody that could get through to a Luka Doncic and a Kyrie Irving simultaneously. Which is borderline miraculous. Right. So that was a win-win. A situation that could have continued. They were able to innovate off of, because Carlisle's doing a good job with the Mavericks, building Luka up, right? But he saw the writing on the wall. He saw the next iteration, innovation, and he spearheaded that. And both teams since have been to an NBA Finals before injuries took down the Pacers and idiocy took down the Mavericks. But they both been to a Finals. Okay, now, this situation, Harbaugh was not the one that said, listen, I think Lamar needs another voice, and, it would be, that's not how it will, but the NBA and the NFL are different, but that's not how this went down. All right, and there's some hurt feelings behind the scenes, and people said things, words were said, we get all that. But it wasn't a friendly switcheroo. It was no friendliness over here. A little bit, there's some hostilities going on. But that's like, but it does not mean, right, that you can't have similar results, honestly. Never mind the fact that they're in different conferences. Harbaugh, the Giants need Harbaugh. They need him. Chargers need his brother. The Giants, and right? So this is a chance for the Giants to get their act together and start playing competitive and playoff level football. Never mind beyond that. In the biggest market in the country. But now for the Ravens, right? What do they say? You better be careful what you wish for, because you might get it. Who is the coach and the voice to unlock Lamar Jackson, if not John Harbaugh? Who is that? I have no idea. Right? Could this be a situation where Lamar needs less, right? And it needs to be like his show. Peyton Manning wins those Super Bowls. Now, obviously, Peyton Manning was with the Colts. He had strong leadership vis-a-vis Jim Caldwell. And he had leadership when they went to the Broncos. I'm not going to, say that, But Jim Caldwell was the coach, but Peyton was the associate coach. Here's what I'm saying. So the next Ravens coach, that's going to be how it goes down. You are coach, Lamar is the associate coach. It's going to be Lamar's way of doing things. Is that what's best for Baltimore? Right? Lamar is going to need to find the fountain of youth like Tom Brady did going to Tampa Bay. That's what's going to need to happen vis-a-vis the Ravens and Lamar. You're going to have to, okay, so you want it your way, Lamar, who has consistently struggled. You want to talk about people in the playoffs that have struggled? Lamar is at the forefront. Matt LaFleur. No, Lamar, you are at the forefront of struggling. And now you're going to have less structure, more input to see if you can shine. I was Team Belichick when the Patriots divorce happened. Team Belichick, not Team Brady. When the gentleman in my fantasy league was hook, line, and sinker Brady, I chastised him. I argued vehemently in favor of the system, in favor of the Patriot way, in favor of Belichick. Okay? Many feet that I put in my own doggone mouth. As we see in the scope of time, who was the driving force and who was just in the car. Okay, Tom Brady was the driving force. Bill Belichick was in the vehicle. No two ways about it. All right. When the split happened, I was on once. I was wrong. I was wrong. We'll see in this situation. But that's what Lamar is going to have to do. Tom Brady went and brought Gronkowski back to football. Had touchdowns in the Super Bowl. He brought Antonio Brown back to football. He had touchdowns in the Super Bowl. And they won a Super Bowl. Okay, all your system, all your structure, we're just going to put some players together, get on the same page, and go out there and get it done. All right, it's not going to be, T's crossed, I's dotted, 200 edits like a Hemingway book. No, it's going to be we got talent, we got confidence, and we're going to get it done. You might have all the other structure and system. We got talent, we got confidence, we ain't scared of y'all, and we getting it done. What? That's what we bring to the table. You can bring all the mythology, and that's that team did. Okay, Mahomes running for his life in the Super Bowl. That was supposed to be Mahomes' Super Bowl to end the Brady, and he take the baton. Tom Brady's like, you can get the heck out of here, youngin. I ain't done winning yet. I'm getting me another one at your expense. And what? And what, youngin'? That's how Brady did Mahomes in that Super Bowl. Came out firing, guys executing, energy. By the way, that reminds me of the U. Not the so that's I'm looking forward to this natty, the U in Indiana, which we will discuss. The U is coming out. You know what I mean? We just hungry athlete. We just flying all around, right? And Indiana is just system. So credible force, immovable object. That's going to be a battle. But that's where I see the Harbaugh legit Lamar split. Harbaugh is bringing structure. He's bringing identity. He's bringing consistency. And as far as I'm concerned, winning to the Giants. And now Lamar, okay, you got it. It's your call. It's your show, right? You got to run it. Not to, you and Zay Flower. No, you got to run it now. You have to be the leader. And the difference, again, and it's, think about it. Tom Brady, TB12, he was a master in those high leverage winner go home situations. Lamar Jackson has been middling, to put it nicely. He's been middling. And that's a nice way of putting it. Now it's on his shoulders. Hey, we shall see. Happy for both parties right now. Hoping for their future success, but we don't know. We don't know these divorces. Sometimes one go high, one go low. We don't know right now. We don't know who it's going to be. All right, folks, and we won't continue our conversation relative to the coaching carousel with the seismic news. Mike Tomlin stepping down as the Steelers head coach. Yes, sir. We got it. Production game getting a little bit better. Not, you know what I mean? We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. As soon as you say something is good, next thing you know, it's going to be falling apart on you. That's how it goes. That's how it goes out there. Yeah. Okay. Frankly, on this, I'm upset that it's 19 and not 20. That's the first thing that bothers me. I wanted to see Mike get 20 years. I want another year. I wanted him to get to 20. Okay, Ron, no, that's the first thing. Now, Steelers people out there, y'all got to say what y'all need to say. Okay? Y'all got to say, but I would have liked to have seen Mike Tomlin do 20 years with the Steelers and go out on a high note. That's what I would have liked to see. See the cameraman there in that brick cold, man. People out there with no doggone shirts, man. I'm shivering right now. It's brick, man. Was it the right move, wrong move? Again. What did Herm Edwards say? He said, you play to win the games. You play to win the games. Steelers weren't winning those Super Bowls no time soon. And they haven't, like, what's that about? You're the Steelers. Why haven't they been, like, are the Steelers in the same boat as the Pacers who, because of their rigid financial construct are just only going to spend so much money, but, right? I don't think so. I don't think that the Pacers, never mind the second apron in the NBA and how that's ridiculous and stupid. Stupid's kind of strong, but it's ridiculous. No, the Steelers spend money. Right? Maybe they spend on the wrong side of the ball, but they spend money. Nonetheless, they don't, the Steelers, this is the Iron Curtain. This is Franco Harris and Terry Bradshaw, and this is the Steelers that I know he got a Super Bowl early in his run, but the Steelers don't strike fear in anybody's heart. They're a physical, right? They are who we thought they were, a physical AFC North, knock you around team that hasn't played in late playoff games, not series because the NFL games, in well over a decade. They've been more of an elder statesman, historic, iconic franchise than contender. You think of the Steelers, you think about them in historic terms rather than the here and now, and being a force and a threat to make any kind of noise. Right? The Steelers are a part of the NFL ethos, gritty, physical, no nonsense, resilient, right? All those attributes that we'd like to have in our lives, on a long and perilous journey. Okay. But you're not talking about the Steelers like you're talking, and I know this year, okay, we've seen some dynasties start to fade. But you're not talking about them in the same breath that you are the Kansas City Chiefs, the Eagles, the 49ers, right? When the season started, the Lions. Steelers mean more culturally than they do competitively, is what I'm saying. In no uncertain terms. Now, Mike Tomlin. Wanted him to get 20 years. Period. End of story. Steelers Nation, you can rage on that point. And I understand the point that for however, appealing or encouraging or inspirational the Steelers might have been, because of what I just said, if you're a fan, you want the team to win, to compete for a championship, which wasn't what this team did this year. No two ways about it. That division, I want to talk about, you know what I mean? Your boy, not a spring chicken anymore. I can't sit down and gobble a whole box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch like I once did. And that doesn't mean I don't want to. It just means I can't gobble a whole bunch of Fruity Pebbles like I want to. There wasn't no birthday breakfast in bed, delicious, scrumptious bacon, egg, grits, home fries, hash, raisin toast. There wasn't no meal so delicious as the AFC North this year. None. Burrow, out. Marr, out. Clevelanding. The Browns being the Browns. This division was the most scrumptious, diddly-umptious type of opportunity anybody could have met. I'm talking a whole. Give me the wholesale box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Give me the Costco's, Walmart, BJ's box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. 3 bags up in the Mama Jamma. On a holiday when I can stay in bed all day and watch my Netflix series. I got to see from bad to worse. or whatever the heck the new, the new Leo I've been hearing about. I got to get down and watch that. Okay, I got to watch a couple more of my PBS documentaries. Ken Burns, best television on television. I don't care what if they cut the funding, right? We're going to have breakfast in bed. We're going to kick back. We're going to watch all of our programs. Then midday, we could do our little catch up on the world, and then we're going to do the SandCity to finish the day. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Right? This is honeymoon level joy when you think about it. And that's what the Steelers had looking at their division this season. And it comes down to missed field goals. They shouldn't have even made the playoffs if a field goal could be made. But no. I'm seeing my people on the X. What's going on? My people on the Twitter machine. What's going on with you? What's good with you? Micah Parsons not happy with the game being won on penalties. I can rock with that. I rock with that. But we'll discuss the Bills. Broncos. We got to discuss most definitely. So Mike Tomlin, it's again, it's the cultural piece. Wanting him to have 20 years, just because it's a good. You just want to see, that continuity, and you want people to. What am I trying to say? But if I'm the fandom, right? This is from the outside looking out. From the outside looking in, this is my views. But from the inside looking out, if I'm a Steelers fan, like, we're out here, like, we're trying to win a championship. Then I can understand it. So that's the push and pull here. If I'm trying to win and do what I, need to do to break through, I don't know how set I am on Mike Tomlin. Okay. But if I'm, rocking with the people that's rock with me and this idea of loyalty and togetherness, then let's give it one more year. Let's get to that year, that 20th year, and decide after that. Which begs the point, and you had Chuck Noll, Barry Switzer. No, Chuck Noll. It's not Barry Switzer. Who's I can't forget. Goodness gracious. Can't believe I forget. I grew up with this guy. Jerome Bettis' coach. Bill Cowher. Chuck Noll's there for 22 years. Okay, maybe it was 18. Looking like 18. Just hearing, okay. So we got Chuck Noll, we got Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher 14, Mike Tomlin 18. He was the coach of the year in 2008. Second year. 17 years ago. Right? So this is a Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur type of situation. Who's the next boy wonder that's going to have the job for 15 plus years? And never mind have the job for 15 plus years, return the Steelers to the Super Bowl conversation. Right? Right? This is the job that Marcus Freeman will leave Notre Dame for. Okay? And, some of the early indications, Mike Tomlin, is not going to return to the sidelines. I mean, right now it's all, I can't buy that. Can't buy that when everything is fresh, and because we don't know. We don't know. But we shall see. Respect to Mike Tomlin, his career, his impact, as we shift gears. Ball game. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Respect to Mike Tomlin on your career and your contributions. Best of luck in the next phase of the journey. Okay. Yeah. Talk Marv Levy. Yes. Now we have to discuss. Got to discuss Bills, Broncos, NBA, coaching carousel. Not the NBA, the player carousel in the NBA. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. Goodness gracious. Battling with Wemby, gave him 55. Shout out to Ant-Man. The two over here battling for the face of the league. Future face of the league. See Russell out here dapping up all the Wizards. The young players. Might not even been born when Russell's not that old. He's not that old. Okay. Let's get that Bills Broncos. Let's get the Bills Broncos going on. Let's get it going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, first of all, many people, myself included, Josh Allen, Sean McDermott, where is this going? This is not a bad loss. And the Bills to go on the road 2 straight weeks and push these teams to the absolute limit. And Josh Allen to, say, hey, right? Talking about put a team on my back. Talking about, being unstoppable, indomitable. That there's no question to me that the Bills need to bring back Sean McDermott and keep this thing rolling. Because these are two tremendous games. Right on the other side of that, Bo Nix, Sean Payton, this is your year. Like this loss, if the Broncos were to lose, it's not up there with that was 95 when they lost to the Jaguars, when they were by far the best team in the NFL, and they lost at home in the divisional round of the Jaguars. So it's not on that level, because this is as much as the Broncos, they get in the number 1 seed, and they're they got the inside track to go to the Super Bowl. They're a Super Bowl contender. So maybe, but they're not overpowering like that Broncos team was. I believe it was 95 when the Jaguars and Mark Brunell just came in and just destroyed them. Okay, this is something, shout out to Uncle Shannon, shout out to Nightcap, something that he could speak to. Right? So it's different. And again, they won the game. They didn't lose the game. But it went to overtime, and it was anyone's ball game. So it would have been, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But I'm not, right? The Broncos had a tremendous, awful loss last year. Excuse me, the Broncos. The Lions had a awful, upsetting, nowhere near as close as this loss last year. And kept on pushing. Had a decent season this year. Didn't make the playoffs, but just want to start, before we talk about the penalties, before we start talk about the resolution, a lot of respect for the Bills. Okay. People were wondering, where is this going? Is it time? They balled out 2 straight weeks, being right there in terms of going to the AFC Championship game. Just one thing goes there in the AFC Championship game with 2 very disappointed cities that had upstart years nonetheless. Josh Allen, how many times has he been on the outside, the outskirts, so Patrick Mahomes' legacy could grow and flourish, right? So now it's his turn to be on the inside, and the Bo Nixes and the Trevor Lawrences have to endure those heartbreaking losses. All right. Buffalo, right? We got continuity in San Francisco. We got continuity in Green Bay. Need continuity in Buffalo. All these cold weather environments built for it tough. There's no need for any changes. Right? Might be some need for some more skill players. But they handle the business today. Okay. Bo Nix, Sean Payton, winner's locker room. Respect in terms of how they stayed aggressive in overtime. Put the pressure, and we're going to talk about these penalties. We're going to talk about the catch that could have been a catch. Man. See, because that's where this conversation needs to go. Right? There's that was a catch. Cooks caught the ball. How can you take the ball from somebody who has the ball in their possession with their back on the ground? It's wild to me that play was not reviewed and they just talk. That is That's wild. I'm going to say that. Okay? Think about it, people. Number one, the play wasn't reviewed. He's in the air. They're both reaching for the ball. He comes down, has the ball in his hand. Like the ball wasn't. Now, this is what you could have looked at in the review, but he didn't bobble the ball. There's no bobble. Okay? Hits the ground. The other player touches him. So he has the ball, but the other player is grabbing the ball. But offensive player clearly had, it wasn't a held ball like we have in basketball. It was the defensive player now has his hand on the ball because he fell on top of him. And then the momentum, right? But it doesn't matter. Well, everything matters. All the pieces matter. Shout out to David Simon. Shout out to the Wire. It's mind-boggling. The play was not reviewed. A. B. There's an argument. That's a catch. So before we start talking about the calls that were made on the other end, let's just start right here. Jump ball in the air. Offensive player has control of it. Hits the ground. Defensive player lands on him. He's down. How can that be an interception if the offensive player who has equal control of the ball is down by contact? You landed on him. So he's on the ground with the ball in his control. He had initial control. And you touched him. He's down. Right? Defensive player, while touching offensive player whose back is on the ground, swings the ball out of his hands. How can you take the ball from somebody who's down? There's what do you mean? I just presented an argument for why that was a catch. Never mind a strip. Then again, how can you strip the ball from somebody who's already down? Or who has not established possession? You can't strip the ball from somebody that's already down, and you can't strip the ball from somebody who hasn't established possession. So it's an incomplete pass. But right there, you see, right, that play is reviewed. We give Buffalo the catch. Never mind disappointing tens of thousands of people that showed up. But there's an argument for it. They kick a field goal, they win the game. Okay, so we don't want to end the game on that note. All right, fine. Not going to end the game on that note. Two pass interferences. Look. First one, I didn't have as much of a problem with. Guys holding him before. He's holding him. He held him in the route. Then you started to tackle him before the catch. It's pass interference. You know, that flag was thrown earlier. The flag wasn't thrown on the contact with the jump ball. The flag was thrown when you held the receiver to get out of his break. So pass interference. And that's one of these things where they say from the spot of the foul might not even been a first down where the original contact took place. You're holding him. They spotted it where the jump ball was. So that's interesting, right? You throw the flag for the hold in the route. Is that where the ball goes, where the hold is, or where the route initially ends? Next to that, the second PI. Again, if I'm a ref and we already given this team a pass interference, I know, oh, we got to go by the letter. No, you don't go by, you go by the spirit of the law. What is the intended purpose of the rule? Okay? To quote Teddy Roosevelt, The American people weren't made for the Constitution. The Constitution was made for the people. So that second PI, and this is why I say I favor not calling that, because it's a 50-50. It's a close jump ball. Was there some contact before the ball? There was some contact, but it was close. It's very close. And you already, could you have called that same contact however many other times in the game? Right? That's why I question, and that call essentially ended the game. If I'm a crew and we've already had one pass interference, if they've already advanced on the pass interference, and then we have another close call. Now, when you see the angle, particularly like the backside angle, like it looks like you tackled this guy before the ball. It looks like a call, and maybe this is a situation. Now that we think about it, because Sean Payton, who got 2 pass interference calls in this game, was it not a situation where the Saints deserved a pass interference call they didn't get? Do we remember that? And how Sean Payton knows he has an advantage with his receivers, and he's putting the pressure, right? We're gonna throw these jump balls, and you're not gonna call another pass interference as far as I'm concerned. Did that play a role? Was that a factor? Maybe. Okay, could be. Just for me, I would have liked to have seen the first one called and the second one not called. Let them win it of their own merit. If it's, let it be a pass interference that everybody in the stadium sees and responds to. Let it be that type of pass interference. All right, rather than okay. Credit to Buffalo on their season and on their battles down to the wire. And this Bronco team earning that home AFC Championship game. We'll see. Certainly, there's no two ways about my views, and love to see the Patriots get back to an AFC Championship game, have to go on the road and put themselves in a position to make it to the Super Bowl. The Broncos have been rolling this season, right? Walton family, billions upon billions of dollars. They put their money where their mouth is. Sean Payton, they started super rocky. Letting the Dolphins score 70 points on you, and we see how those roles have reversed, right? He has built the Broncos up into, a title contender. Coming from, the conference, the division of Mahomes. We're not talking about Mahomes right now, are we? Okay, we're talking about Bo Nix and Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. All right. So I'm not rooting for them, because they in the pathway of the Patriots. Nonetheless, this is it's a breakthrough, and you gotta tip your hat and give credit where credit is due. Again, relative to the Bills, it's not broke. We don't need to fix anything. It's a tremendous game, right there. And some calls, man. Right? I don't know, right? If that If that's a catch, we have a different game. If that's an incomplete pass and they were able to punt, take away some field position, we have possibly a different game. No, we don't have. We have a different game. And if it's not 2 PIs, it's only 1 PI. We have a different game. So not that any of those swung the game, but all 3 of those went against the Bills. All 3 of those calls went against the Bills. It has to be a clear on that. The strip was either an incomplete or a catch. It wasn't an interception. It was not. No. You can't intercept the ball from a player who's down. The player was down. Right? And you can't take the ball from a player who's down as well. If it's a jump ball and one player is out of bounds, then it's out of bounds. Right? If 2 players have, in basketball, 2 players have possession of the ball, but one of those players is out, then you are out. It's not a jump. You're out of bounds. It's going the other way. Okay, so it's I don't understand how it's an interception if the one player is down. Should have been incomplete pass. They punt it, bury the Broncos. So that hurt the Bills by taking away a special teams opportunity. And obviously 2 PIs hurt the Bills. But they had a rough go of it. The second one certainly decided the game. But the first 2 just gave Denver, more and more opportunity. Gritty, decisive. They come up short, but they have much to build on for the next journey. See how folks are doing out there in television land? But it's good. That's good. Let's go around the way. Trailing a little bit behind on Twitter. That's fine. Twitch is good. We're good. SandCity Sports Saturday edition NFL playoffs. Yeah, we're in the bit. We just getting rocking and rolling here. We getting rocking to the rolling and what we're doing. Check in with people. Everyone is good. Everything is everything. So let's keep moving and grooving. Right? Let's keep that moving and grooving. Before we dive into yeah. Let's dive into the association tonight. We got to see. I'm hearing. He's running wild, man. I'm hearing the Young Guns is running wild, man. No, it's not good art. It's not good art. I can't do that. Can't do that. I would like to, but I can't. Mm-hmm. See if I can get this imagery. Now we got a delay here. We got a delay. I can't get the art that I wanted. It's not the art that I need. All right, let's see. We're going to give it one more chance here. Another young guy. Wrong file. Yep. See if this one is going to work as we are in the. Yes, sir. This guy can go. So Ant-Man gave him 55 tonight in battle against Wemby. Ooh. Somebody got dunked on. But we're trying to. Ant-Man giving him 55, 20, 26 in the fourth quarter. On the road. Hey. Who's the face of the NBA? Who's the next face of the NBA? Option 1 and 1A. Right? Love this. And for the Ant-Man, similar. He's been right there. Multiple Western Conference Finals. Right? But for some reason, not breaking through. Okay? What's the reason? Why is he not breaking through? Okay? And of course, Victor is trying to get the Spurs to that place. To compete for, to compete for the championship. The better opportunity for the Minnesota Timberwolves, in my mind, was that first matchup against the Mavericks. Okay, and that didn't go their way. I don't think they were the favorites last year against Oklahoma City, and I don't think that's debatable. Okay. But he's been right there. This question, because he's going to have to take over to get the Timberwolves into the finals. Right? The Timberwolves are a good team. They're not the most complete team, right? Houston and Golden State. Golden State's declining and done. But Houston and Oklahoma City are clearly better teams than Minnesota. He's just got to be the best player in the state that he's in, right? The best player on the planet, frankly, to will the Timberwolves into the finals. Right? And Wemby's in a similar boat with a very talented team, but young. Okay, Dylan Harper is young. Stephon Castle is young. De'Aaron Fox is ready. He's tried and true. He's been there, done that. So it's you got two guys with a little bit more experience in Wemby and Fox, and then two young Lions to coach up. But pound for pound, they can, right? And they've beaten the Thunder a number of times. Beaten OKC a number of times. All right. But it has to take place. It has to take place in money time. All right. But one for the books tonight. Respect to Ant-Man Edwards. Respect to Timberwolves, 55-point explosion. Go ahead and get them. Go ahead and get them. All right, folks. Coming down, I know we do have some NBA trades to discuss and possible trades. I know that. But we're going to wind down this episode and leave a little bit of meat on that bone for the next one. We're going to start with a college throwback. I love this clip. I absolutely love this clip. I'm glad that I found it. Love this clip. Get some facts and get back to me. Remember this clip. Love this clip. Get some facts and get back to me. All right. Starting on the college circuit. Some facts and get back to me.
Recruiting's hardly an exact science, but what does Gomes do that just blows you away now that you maybe no one saw?
You only go throughout the country of the guys that came and didn't go, I'm a genius. I took a Mecca over for 100. It's the dumbest question I've ever heard. I've explained it 1,000 times. I up. I didn't take Ryan Gomes.
I didn't
have Jesus Christ Almighty! It took 18 months to sell the kid. It's been written about. It's been taught about. Don't shake your head. If you ask a question, I'm telling you how I feel about it. I took a MacDonald and Karan Butler. They're not bad. I can't take every player. We have 13 scholarships. When I saw him, he was 6'5", 265, 70 pounds. When he graduated, we took Karan. He then waited to get his SAT score in the spring. It took Wayne Simone 18 months to convince, and I believe is that a quote, I believe, by Tim Welch, to convince him to take the kid. Same thing Tim Welch saw, except we had to get a Mecca, and they did it. And we had to get Karan, and they did it. But I'm tired of talking about Ryan. I just said it's one of the best players in our league, and starting to look like one of the best players in the country. I don't know what else I can say. And if you want me to say up, I up. Right. No, I mean, the question was asked. I posed it right off the bat. I gave Bill a slap, and he'll probably slap me later, which is just fine. That's part of the deal. But I answered the question. I don't know how else I can answer it. You want to go deeper into it? You want me to say I f***ed up for the 5th time? I f***ed up. All right, so put it 5 times.
That's not to get some
that just blows you away now that you
to get some facts and get back to me is when they asked about his salary.
The guys that came and didn't go.
And they asked about his salary. We need to see this one more time. Tell him, Jim. Dorchester.
I've explained it 1,000 times.
Dorchester.
I didn't take Ryan Gomes. Does that make you happy? Jesus Christ Almighty! It took 18 months to sell the kid to Providence. It's been written about. It's been talked about. Don't shake your head. If you ask a question, I'm telling you how I feel about it. I took a Mecca Okafor and Karan Butler. They're not bad. I can't take every player. We have 13 scholarships. When I saw him, he was 6'5", 265, 70 pounds. When he graduated, he took Quran. He then waited to get his SAT score in the spring. It took Wayne Simone 18 months to convince, and I believe is that a quote, I believe, by Tim Welch, to convince him to take the kid. Same thing Tim Welch saw, except we had to get a Mecca and they didn't. And we had to get Quran and they didn't. But I'm tired of talking about Ryan. I've just said it's one of the best players in our league and starting to look like one of the best players in the country. I don't know what else I can say. And if you want me to say I f***ed up, I f***ed up. Write it. No, I mean, the question was asked. I posed it right off the bat. I gave Bill a slap, and he'll probably slap me later, which is just fine. That's part of the deal. You know, but I answered the question. I don't know how else I can answer it. You want to go deeper into it? You want me to say I f***ed up for the 5th time? I f***ed up. All right, so put it 5 times.
To get some stats, facts, again, that's a different, people were questioning his salary. But I thought it was a Mecca Okafor and Ben Gordon who ended up winning the championship. It was a Mecca and Caron Butler, 2 NBA guys. Okay? Talk about progress over perfection. Future number 1 overall pick. He's doing his 2-year commitment in the Navy. Practicing with the local team.
When you step over, put your hands up. As you're stepping over, put your hands up, and then get to this position. Very good. Put your hands, put. Nice work. Hold with your hands.
Obviously, in the next 2 years, I'm going to grow physically and mature a little bit, and that's going to help me. But I know that I can go out there and do whatever I want, really. I mean, I can go out there and be successful and be good if I want to. If I work at it and I want to be good. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that opportunity to go out there and play in the game.
Number 1 overall pick. He says, no, I'm doing my naval commitment. Talk about principle. Man of faith.
Obviously, in the next 2 years, I'm going to grow physically and mature a little bit, and that's
gave up 2 years of his NBA career
I know that I can go out there and do whatever I want.
On principle.
I mean, I can go out there and be successful and be good if I want to. If I work at it and I want to be good. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that opportunity to go out there and play in the game.
Came into the NBA after a 2-year hiatus, none the worse for wear. Won a championship his last year. He had passed the reins to Tim Duncan at that point in time. So he came in his way and he went out his way. Yes, indeed he did. All right, folks. We're going to conclude with hoops. Slice of life here.
Stockton on the angle left. He'll drop it low to the mailman. Guarded by David
28
Greenwood.
assists in one game.
It's good. Jeff on the left, but the Spurs gathers defensively. Stockton backs it out right side. He'll look to Karl Malone. Guarded by Greenwood. Alley-oop low. Karl's got it. Play it up and in. 6 rebounds.
Stat
All of them
line,
by
20
Karl
points,
Malone.
28
San Antonio
assists.
with 5 rebounds.
3
In a
rebounds,
paint.
8
Here's
steals.
Jeff. Following 10-footer. Good. Jeff into the front court straight away. Stockton to the free throw line. He'll penetrate right side.
80% from the
Gets into the
line.
line. He drives baseline. Going underneath. Reverse it. Score. What a shot.
Who's that center out there?
Willie Anderson. Here's the pass stolen by Stockton. You go all the way. Lay it up. Go, Timmy. She's 6:30. San Antonio. Stockton up top. Stockton on the yo-yo. Bailey the screen. Stock right side. 17-footer by John. It's good. Bailey only 1 out of 4 shooting tonight. And he had an easy one there. All right, here's throw again. Open 15-footer. He makes this one right side. No, they have the Stockton. He's got Jeff with him. Greenwood back. Taylor, Carmelo down the alley. Make it up and in. Edwards back to Stockton on the angle left. He'll drop the low to the mailman. Guarded by David Greenwood. Carl, 15-footer's good. Carl, Jeff on the left, but the Spurs gather defensively. Stockton backs it out right side. He'll look to Carl Malone. Guarded by Greenwood. He'll alley-oop low. Carl's got it. Lay it up and in. 6 rebounds. All of them by Carl Malone. San Antonio with 5 rebounds. In a paint, here's Jeff. Following 10-footer, good. Jeff into the front court straight away. Stock to the free throw line. He'll penetrate right side. Ryan keeps it a little eye. He drives baseline, go underneath, reverse it, score. Stockton looking for the mailman. He'll fake right, go left. Stock down the middle, split to the finish. Hook with the left hand, it's good. 41, Utah with the ball. Stockton front court. Carl Malone screen. Stockton behind it. Down low to Carl. Power in. Let up in. Stockton front court left. Jazz
Not mentioned nearly enough in the all-time point guard conversation.
Base right, good. Taking up top to David
Jerry
Robinson.
Sloan.
Left side pick. Pass stolen by Stockton. Stockton down the alley. Split to the finish. Go to the hoop. Play it up. Score it.
All-time great
Stockton
coach.
right side front court. Fake right, go left. He'll bounce left side of Jeff. Open. 16-footer. Good. Angle right, Sean Elliott. He'll try to drive, but Bailey knocks it away. Stockton's got it. They'll never catch him. He'll go to Carl for the dunk. The mailman hammers it in.
Yeah.
Jazz lead by 1. Stockton left corner to Jeff Malone. 18-footer by Jeff. Good.
Hey, they got David Robinson on the opposite side.
Stockton to the right corner. Jeff Malone open. 16-footer. Yes. Picked up by Rod Strickland. Stockton drive the base. Gets by
Utah's
Strickland.
hot. Stockton.
Stockton looking for the mailman. He'll fake right, go left. Stock down the middle. Split to the finish. Hook for the left hand. Straight away. John, 6 for 9 shooting. Down the free throw line area. Jeff Malone outbound a shot. Good. Eye exams by an ophthalmologist. If you require eyeglasses, bring your prescription tonight in Optical. A world-class quality and service. He's got it to Robinson. Out to Strickland. Stolen by Stockton. Stockton with blue. Stockton to blue. To the hoop. Leatherden. It's now to Robinson. Go to the hoop. Knocked away. Stockton grabs it away. Stock to the middle. Mailman left. Stock drives. Hang up for the play. That's good. Penalty foul. John Stockton. To the ball. Stockton left side to Carl. Go to the hoop. Put it up and in. Rebound, Mike Brown. Now court Stockton. He's out in front. All the way. Score the bucket. Out Huntley with Ron Boone here at the South Palace in Salt Lake City, Utah. Stockton to Griff for 3. Shot. Good. Yep. Here's comes Stockton.
Team's hot.
To Carl. Carmelo. Straight away. John, 6 for 9 shooting.
Team's hot.
Free throw line area. Jeff Malone outbound a shot. Good.
We need John Stockton in the all-time point guard conversation. No two ways about it. Just has to happen. Need him. Also, the NBA's all-time leader in steals. That gets left out far too often. SandCity Sports Saturday edition. NFL playoffs, much more to go. But happy to be with you. Let's go, let's go. Yes, sir. SandCity Sports. Signing off. Go. Thank you so much, folks. I'm your host, Gabe Got